Deconstruction is a personal, intellectual, and even emotional exercise of dismantling belief systems. And, this involves a lot of critical thinking. It involves scrutiny in areas that, scrutiny is usually frowned upon. And essentially, when I talk about deconstruction for myself, and it's funny because I never heard the term deconstruction until I was actually deconstructing from Christianity. But then as the algorithm on YouTube starts picking it up, now I get to see all these different individual influencers and their own personal journeys. And one of the things that I've noticed is really common amongst people in deconstruction is that they are not all like me. Most of them have deconstructed completely into atheism and belief that God does not exist at all. That is not my take. I have not, and I don't think I will ever make it to that point. My deconstruction involves deconstructing from the doctrines and belief systems of mainstream Christianity, but my belief in God it's unshakable, and I have my own personal reasons for that. And one of the things that I see a lot during debates is that apologists and other people do this in general, that they lean on their own personal experience as some sort of like, this is the evidence that God exists. And I cannot and will not assume that my personal experience is any way, shape, or form evidence for anyone else. That's your own, that's your path, and for you to discover on your own. For me, I know exactly what it is. I know how real God is in my life. I know the things that God has done for me and through me. Problem, talking about or admitting. However, the doctrines of mainstream Christianity are not that, and they are not God. And so if I come on here and I'm questioning something that is in the Bible, that doesn't mean I'm questioning God. If I start questioning something that a preacher says, doesn't mean I'm questioning God. If I start questioning something that has been a passed down belief for 2,000 years in your religion, that does not mean that I am questioning God. And that's the pushback I get a lot. Like, oh, how dare you question God? Because I talk about, how the Bible isn't inerrant or something like that. And I want just people to recognize that these are not questioning God. These are questioning man-made belief systems that people just subscribe to without any investigation. And in this podcast, what I'm doing is investigating. And yes, part of that is investigating God. God is not, and this is so crazy because people are like, oh, do not, test the Lord thy God. They'll use the temptation of Jesus and the enemy in the wilderness as this, biblical assertion to never question God, when Proverbs 25 says, I'm going to paraphrase, it is the glory of God to conceal things, but the glory of kings to seek them out. But essentially, this is what it's telling us, is that we need to do our own investigation and figure out, discover God for ourselves. God is not information that you receive. God is an experience. So I'm hoping that I have the ability to encourage someone today to experience God. Thank you.